Hello and welcome to the Traction Control podcast. In a slight change from our regular formatting, we have another interview episode, this time taken at the Sim Racing Expo in Charlotte. Joining us today is André Eriksson, the founder and CEO of Asetek and Asetek Racing for the sim racing fans. The whole Danish company was taken over by CQXA Holdings recently in a big money deal, and there have been some misgivings about this, some concerns, but also some hopeful developments for the future. So to answer all those queries and more, André lent us his time during the busy event, and without further ado, here's that interview. Okay, we're here with at the Sim Racing Expo Charlotte with André, the CEO of Asetek Racing. Still the CEO.
Still the CEO.
This is the important thing.
And I also still the founder.
And still the founder. Absolutely. All right. Okay. So we'd like to talk about your really cool range of products, but really I want to focus on big changes at the company, huge changes, a lot to go through. So Asetek, obviously not just sim racing company, far from it. It's the inverse. But in our industry, people might not know the full liquid cooling background. You were purchased recently by CQXA, sorry, stumbled there, a Chinese tech company. How did that come about? And just tell me the process behind the purchase.
So unless you've been living under a rock, you would know that AI is a big deal right now.
Yeah.
And many years ago, we invented some liquid cooling for data centers and servers, which happens to be also a big thing in AI now. So actually 5 different companies were interested in acquiring us.
Yeah, okay.
And
that's a lot.
Yes, and I think there are some, I read some of the posts, some of our users have written to me directly, and I think there is a lot of misunderstandings. First of all, when you're a listed company on a stock exchange, that means you're up for sale each and every day. And
that's a good point.
People trade your shares. You have no influence who's buying, who's selling.
No.
So a lot of listed companies can be owned by Chinese or Taiwanese or whatever, because you don't know who's behind any fund. And I, as the founder and the CEO, I have no say in whether the company is being bought or sold. Yeah. I mean, I get comments like, why did you sell and you're selling out and la la la. I had no say. Secondly, the board has no say. By law, if you receive an offer on the company, the board by law has to tell their shareholders, we got this and this bid, what do you think? And then the board can recommend it or not recommend it, but they cannot decide. It's a majority. Yeah. That's the whole definition of corporation. Yeah. The power I have and I had was that it's not slavery in the sense that I decide who I work for. So if I didn't like it, for example, and the board say, we are going to sell it, or the shareholders vote and say, okay, we are going to sell it, I could just have resigned.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's the power I had, and if I resigned, they didn't even want to buy us. Yeah. So I think that's the first misunderstanding that there's been.
Okay. One thing I find interesting is I thought you'd be on an island somewhere, right? But you're still committed to the company. So do you see these new owners as a positive step for the company? Yeah. And then also you still got a significant influence on where it goes.
Yeah. So first of all, I do see it as a significant positive. Yeah. Because otherwise I would have resigned.
Yeah, exactly.
If they were going to do something that I didn't like, then I would not have been around. And so that's the first thing. It is a positive for all the business areas, I believe, because they can bring some strength to us, not only financially, but also, supply chain wise, manufacturing wise. And I can't help laughing a little bit when people say, it's Chinese. Yeah. So we are now in this big convention center here.
Yes.
Can you point to one manufacturer where the hardware is not manufactured in China or the like?
Not really.
Not really?
No. So I know of one wheelbase that's not made in China, and I think everything else pretty much is, right?
You could argue, is our wheelbase made in China? What is a wheelbase? Because is the motor made in China?
Yes.
If the motor is made in China, is the wheelbase then made in China? Or if you buy the motor in China and add some European parts, is it then European or is it Chinese?
True, yes.
I don't give a rat's ass for that.
Versus...
Exactly. Yeah. To me, that's just stupid. And
would you say, sorry to interrupt, that Asetek is a Chinese company now? I mean, it's still based in Denmark. You've still got a lot of R&D in Denmark, still production all around the world.
When I said there's no change, that means we still have manufacturing in Malaysia.
Yeah.
We still have manufacturing in China.
Yeah.
We still have manufacturing in Denmark.
Yeah.
We have the same engineers. We have the same sourcing team. We have the same people in our Chinese office as we did 6 months ago.
Yeah.
We have the same people in our Taiwanese office. So to me, these are just silly arguments of people who don't know better.
And this takeover, you were saying it's a positive thing, and you're still very much the CEO. Does it mean that there's extra investment for certain areas of the business?
Yeah,
extra support.
So I think it's also important to understand that what does it mean that we now have new owners?
Yeah.
Just forget a second what country they're from or not.
Yeah.
What does it mean? It means if we make a huge profit, then our new owners will put it in their pocket. If we make a huge loss, they would have to shell money out of their pocket.
Okay.
That's what it actually means.
Yeah.
Because they are not a part of the daily operation. They are not telling me, don't make this steering wheel orange, make it blue. I mean, they are not on that level. Where they are going to invest hard is in the data center space, the AI space.
Of course.
And as a matter of fact, right now we are hiring people. They are looking to acquire new factories just for that. So it's and that's a positive for the company, because the more profitable, the stronger the company is on one side of the business. Of course, it also helps the other side of the business.
Well, that's where I was going to go, because let's say the AI data center cooling business takes off, does really well. There should be some trickle down for the racing division.
Of course, it's obvious.
Yeah.
Like a family budget, right? You know, the sim racing business for Asetek, we started it 5 years ago, or whatever it was. It's a startup. Where the other part of our business is, more established. And of course, like any other startup, it has to prove itself that it can also be a good business. But that's independent of our owners.
Okay, that's been a bit of business-heavy talk. Let's talk a bit more Asetek Racing specifically for our audience. We were going in there with the big investment stuff, but that's really important. Where do you see Asetek Racing right now? You've launched Initium recently. There's going to be some new products coming down the line here. We've got the handbrake and shifters on the stand. Things are going well?
Yeah, I think so. If you rewind the tape, there are certain things that we wanted to bring to sim racing that we didn't feel was there. I think we have accomplished that. We want to do high-end products. That's exciting. But we also want to trickle the high-end down to more affordable products. And you can always discuss what's cheap and what's not cheap. But, for example, the pedals of the Initium, $119. You can upgrade them all the way up to Invicta. I think that's a really good value.
No, that's a really good, how you've got a lot of upgrade abilities within the range.
Yes.
That's a really cool thing.
And then, the Initium that you talk about here is, rig, seat, pedals, everything for below $1,000. And now, I know I've done a lot of talking, but it's not up to me to decide the speed, unfortunately. But now, finally, we are in the closing stages of the Xbox.
I was going to ask.
Yes.
So soon? It's happening?
Yes, I can promise soon.
Okay, I did see, I think you showed me like a prototype. This one here as well.
This is actually, it has the Xbox logo on it.
And I saw one at Gamescom, which is maybe a bit earlier than this. But now, finally, console players. Okay.
I can be completely open about it and say that, I'm always completely open, but as a part of the process, we of course have to send to Microsoft what we intend to sell, including packaging and all that kind of stuff.
And it takes time.
And we are in that process right now that they are actually doing the final evaluation. There have been stages on the way, but now we actually have the actual shipping box, and they can see, is this the right Xbox color? Or, we're in that final stage now.
But once you do that first time, which can be quite long and painful, for future products, you know what to expect. As a company, you've got it in there.
And I know something that our fans often ask us about, and that I promised a long time ago, and that is going to happen, is that we are also going to bring more high-end hardware into the console.
Okay, all right. This is just the start.
This is just the start.
And then there could be, because there is a growing market, I think, for console players. Now, part of that is also the software has to be good. Hopefully there's more Sims on PlayStations and Xboxes soon.
But I've said this before, and I'll repeat it again, because perhaps your viewers have not seen it. In my opinion, the most realistic and best experience is on a PC. That being said, you need to be a PC enthusiast to make it work.
Totally.
I have
Totally.
a very real example. I am a computer geek, a PC geek, been my entire life. But even I have a garage now with a few supercars, and it's very nice.
Yeah.
Then I have a bar, and then I have a sim.
Yeah.
And then I invite over friends. And I started with this humongous setup with 3 screens and, of course, the best of the best hardware that we can deliver. And every time we want to go sim racing, it ends and everybody get real drunk before getting to race, or they go home, because I don't use that sim very often.
Okay.
So when I turn it on,
Yeah.
driver updates, Windows updates. Why is the center screen now on the right side? That's not how I left
Yeah,
it.
no one ever knows.
No, and you know, it's that part is just not fun.
Yeah.
If you want to go racing. So now I have both. Now I have both an Xbox and a PC.
Yeah.
So when I'm alone and having fun with my son and we're racing against each other, for example, that's on the PC.
Yeah.
But if there are friends over and we just want to hang out and have fun without getting too drunk before driving,
Of course.
you know, turn on the Xbox, push the button and drive. It's and you know, the experience is not bad.
No.
I think the access to more high-end hardware,
Yes.
and of course the titles, but that's out of my control at least.
Exactly.
It's hard to beat.
I do have to quickly mention, do you have ambitions to be on PlayStation as well? Because it's not an easy thing
I've
to
had
deal with.
those ambitions before I even founded Asetek Sim Sports and Racing.
Yeah.
But you know, there are other people than me who decides.
Of course.
And what I can say, seen from the outside, it seems to me that new licenses are being given to existing customers.
Yeah.
Not necessarily sim racing.
No, I know what you mean.
But you know, if you
If
have
they make headsets or controllers.
exactly, if you're already in the headset and controller business, seen from Sony's perspective,
Yeah.
the odds of success and the odds of they already know the process, it's just easier.
Yeah. Seems that way.
And here we come, a brand new brand into the business. Oh, we also want a license.
Yeah.
Of course, I think they should give it to us. That's but it's just proven to not be that easy.
Well, hopefully, when you get the Xbox One shipping, things
That's
might
of
change
course
over
what
time.
we hope for, because also I think from a competitive standpoint,
Yeah.
that's a little bit more, let's say, ethical question.
Yeah.
Or I don't think it's fair that a few brands have access and the rest of us do not.
Competition's good.
That's not competition, right? So, but that's
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully that changes. A couple of questions to finish off then. In terms of the roadmap for Asetek Racing, we know the entry-level products, but following the takeover, there's still like a plan and a roadmap of new products or revised products or updated. You know,
Absolutely.
there's still like a vision for the years ahead.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Any hints as to what they might be?
Well, I can promise that there will be new products on all tiers.
Okay.
And I can also say that the very much sought after ABS system is also.
I wasn't going to ask because I saw that so many years ago.
Yes, and you know, the devil is in the detail.
Okay.
And as you know, I'm laser focused on this. It has to be the real deal, like in a car. And I dare to say that we have now 4 different prototypes running with different configurations that all poses different challenges.
Okay.
Some is cost, some is noise, some is you know. So it's always going to be a compromise. But it's still very much on the agenda.
Okay, and to finish off, so Asetek Racing is still here, you're still pushing forward, and people who have invested in the ecosystem, they've got nothing to worry about. In fact, they could look forward to some really cool things and maybe some extra support for the future.
I mean, I can't issue any guarantees as so far as I don't know how the world looks tomorrow.
40 years' time.
No, exactly. But what I can say is that even with our new owners, I mean, there's no change to our plans.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, and perhaps that could be the closing remark, as a matter of fact, which I think is a good thing, before we were sharing engineers across product lines and across businesses, where the sim racing business is now a business on its own with its own P&L.
Yeah.
So I think that's actually good.
Yeah. Okay, well, André, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
Good luck with the future of the business.
Thank you.
Thanks. Well, thank you for listening, and thank you to André for his time. I thought he was very candid and punchy with his opinions, and that's what I want to see from a CEO, to be honest. So he's still very much committed to the sim racing scene, as you can tell, and fired up So let me know your thoughts in the YouTube and Spotify comments. Follow, like, subscribe on your favorite podcast platform, whether that's YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or other ones. We really appreciate that, and we see those reviews and comments recently, so keep it up. Don't forget, we've got the newsletter and the Discord and the website and the main YouTube channel. Please follow and like on there too. But for now, see you next week.